Valley Railroad 462 Pacific Steam Locomotive number 55, also known as Double Nickel, is my favorite custom HO scale steam engine that I've completed for the Ephrata Valley Railroad. It all started with a humble but common Mantua Union Pacific 462, and a photo I found on the internet of a rather unique looking steam locomotive. Upon doing further research on that photo, I discovered that it was of a Great Northern 484 Northern type steam locomotive, but it was the front end that intrigued me the most. Flying air pumps, as they were known, or air pumps mounted to the front of the smoke box, gave the Great Northern type steam engine a rather aggressive front end. This prompted me to do further research, and I discovered that the Chesapeake and Ohio Railroad rostered 462 Heavy Pacifics and 282 Heavy Mikados with flying air pumps on the front of their smoke boxes, on some models. These gave me the inspiration that I needed to complete Double Nickel. I sold the Mantua Union Pacific tender when I secured a factory-made undecorated Vanderbilt tender. I then set to work on the locomotive. I stripped the cab and .3 brake fluid to remove the lettering, but I left the black paint on the boiler as is. I then superglued two HO scale brass air pumps made by Precision Scale Company to the front of the smoke box, and I kept them as straight as possible to give the locomotive a clean look. Right before doing this, however, I snipped the wire handrails that usually angle down to the front of the pilot to clean up the smoke box. Next, I spray painted the pilot, boiler, cab, and tender shell with satin black Krylon spray paint. I brush painted the tender trucks, locomotive trailing truck, and cylinders with Krylon acrylic gloss black paint. After reassembly, all that was left was fine-tuning the locomotive and adding the fine details, with Deco Art paint pens, keeping the Reading Railroad T1 inspired scheme, and chart pack sticker lettering to match the rest of the Ephrata Valley Railroad roster. On April 10th, 2021, Ephrata Valley Railroad 462 number 55 Double Nickel was finally completed, and I still couldn't be more proud of my custom Mantua steam engine, despite the fact that it has not been heavily customized. In legend, Ephrata Valley's Double Nickel was designed and used for freight service on the railroad up until the early 1960s, when it was retired and preserved by the Ephrata Valley Railroad for passenger excursions.